Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are doing well on this weekend, and I hope you're taking care of yourselves really well, and I hope you're doing something special too, because it is summertime, so it's the perfect time to go to the beach or, I don't know, do something fun with your family, or just, I don't know, get out there, get into the sun, and you know, take off your shoes and walk around without your shoes, right? Ground a little bit. Anyway, so guys, today I'm going to talk to you about the devil, okay? And how the devil is actually a coward, right? He's a coward and he's not as powerful as he seems, okay? And of course, um, because this is also a spiritual battle that we're experiencing, right? So we're battling against the dark principalities, right? As it says in the Bible, right? So the devil operates through the unconscious individuals or through the unconscious vessels, right? Um, the fact of the matter is that he can even, demons, right, or bad spirits, they can use other people that are unaware, that are very, I would say, low vibrational, right? So he can use those and they can jump from a body to a body to a body, right? Believe it or not, I know this sounds crazy, right? So this video is not for everyone, okay? Those that don't believe in this, it's okay, but I've personally experienced this before my spiritual awakening. I swear to God, like the same spirit was chasing me, okay? At first it was, uh, at first uh, it was a woman, right, that did tarot readings, right? And she got out of the location that she was in, right? And she just started chasing me basically down the street. And she literally like chased me for like almost 100 meters. Like you can't make this stuff up, right? So I was just completely I was stunned. I was like, what is she doing, It's one thing to like try to lure someone in like when they're right there, right? But it's a completely different thing when they're actually chasing you, right? For like 100 meters. So I was like, wow, so this, once again, this kind of proves that um, we're not just living in the physical world, right? And of course, it doesn't necessarily prove that, but it is a very strange thing to do, right? If you're just looking for a client, to chase them, down the street when they're like clearly walking away from you, right? Anyway, so that was one incident, right? And then right after that, I cross the street, right? And then this guy pulls up, right? He's trying to give me a ride, right? This guy, everything is covered in nail. I mean, in gold, right? He's like literally covered in gold. He's wearing sunglasses. He has the longest, freakiest nails in the world. They're like this long, like much longer than mine right now, and much longer than like the girl, even the ladies, get. So it was really, really creepy to see and very strange. And I was on, especially on a guy, right? And I was like, okay, this is very creepy, very strange. Anyway, so let me get to the point, right? Once again, I felt the same spirit in that guy, okay? And there was another guy right after that. That was before my spiritual awakening happened, okay? So, anyway, of course, those of you that are very grounded in reality, in the physicality, right? Those of you that are cut off from your emotions for now, those of you that don't believe in anything but what you're seeing, right, what you can physically touch, then this video is not going to be for you, right? Anyways, but so what I wanted to talk to you about today, right, is um, you know I wanted to talk to you about how the devil operates, okay, and how how the demons operate, right? And actually, once again, they operate through unconscious people, unaware people, people that carry a very low vibration, right? And so usually, what tends to happen is that they will attract God's people, right, or the chosen ones, or earth angels, right, whatever you want to call them. They will attack you when you're at your lowest, okay. So once again, I said this in one of my videos and I will say it again, right? Because it's very important. When you're at your lowest, right? When you just get out of a relationship, maybe you're depressed, maybe you just have all those heavy emotions still, right? Maybe you need to get them all out, right? Don't ever get into another relationship at this point, okay? Because once again, the demons or the devil, he knows perfectly well what kind of a state you're in, right? So they're going to go after you. They're going to try to get you into a relationship with another low vibrational being, right? So you're more likely to end up with a narcissist, right? Again, maybe if you were in that type of relationship, right? Same applies to jobs. If you're in a low state, if you're very depressed, which tends to happen to a lot of people too, right? Then don't try to look for work. The first thing that you need to take care of is your well-being, okay? Your mental well-being, your emotional well-being. Then get out there and look for work, okay? Once you increase your energy, once you begin to feel better, right? Because we attract what we are also, right? And so our vibration, once we are able to increase it, once we start feeling better, will attract much better opportunities to us, right? And much better people that we'll be working with, right? And so you have to be very aware of that. I know a lot of people, once they lose their jobs, right, they go into this panic mode, right, where they can't think straight, right, and they're just like operating from their fear. Oh my goodness, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? I have a family to feed, right? So they just like they panic and they just try to get whatever they can get their hands on, basically, right? But that's just not a good thing to do, because once again, the devil knows, right, that you're in this situation. So they're going to try to get you when you're at your lowest, okay? Because that's how the devil operates, okay? That's how the demons operate. They will get you at your lowest, not at your highest, okay? At your highest, right, when you're vibrating high, when you're feeling really good, you are basically protected. Why are you protected? Because your intuition is on point, right? You're very sensitive. You can feel things really well, right? You're very in tune with your intuition, with the universe around you, right? And so you're going to feel when something is off about a person, about a situation, right? And your discernment is very, very high too, right? When you're at your highest, you're going to be able to discern whether a situation or a person is bad or good for you, right? So it's extremely difficult to provoke you even, right? Some might try to provoke you, right? But you're not going to react in that state, or you're going to react well, right? You're just going to be like, okay, yeah, whatever, sure, So you're able to think clearly in that state. You're calm, right? You know that the person that's trying to trigger you, it's all about them. In most cases, it's not about you, right? They probably want your energy, right? So you're not gonna give it to them, yeah. So that's why the devil gets you when you're at your lowest, okay? That's why when you're at your lowest, right, you have to acknowledge this, and you have to try to either stay away from people, or try to withdraw, right? Try to withdraw, try to calm down, try to relax, and get back into that good mood again. Try to make yourself feel better, right? So this is all about self-love. In this state, you can take baths, you can go out and do something that you enjoy, right? Maybe take a little trip somewhere new, okay? That always kind of rejuvenates me, that always gives me a different perspective, right? And just remind yourself, how powerful, how abundant you are, right? And how you're always protected, how, God has always got your back, even if you don't believe it, okay? You're not alone in this, okay? And you can remind yourself that you've handled many, many, many difficult situations in the past, right? And that this situation is only going to make you a lot stronger, okay? It's going to make you so strong. You're going to end up like the Rock, and I don't mean the Rock. I mean, you're going to end up like a rock, right? You're going to be really difficult to move. You're going to be very difficult to mess with. You're going to be unfazed by the things that are thrown at you. You know, so just think of the wind, right? Like, or even some dust and dirt just going through the rock, right? Or just the rock, it just remains there. It's unfazed, right? It's unmoved. So that's how you're going to that's what you're going to become, okay? By facing a lot of difficult situations, right? And they don't have to be situations like a job loss or a relationship loss, right? It can be anything really, you know, so it can be even a bad day, a stressful day, you know. I had just recently, you know, I had a really kind of like a very stressful day basically, right? Me and my kid, we had to go to the doctor, and there's a stalker basically that's like he's following me around everywhere in his car, right? And you cannot make this up, okay? The guy has a logo of 666 on his car, okay? Like, you can't make this stuff up, right? And he just he gave us a ride. One time we were trying to get to another town, right? And he stopped, and he was like, "Hey, can I give you a ride?" Right? And I saw the logo 666, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know if it's a good idea to get in, you know, but I'm a very trusting person, right? So I was like, okay, well, what's the worst that can happen? I'm sure we'll be fine, right? He'll just, like, we're on our way to this town. It's really close, right? So anyway, so he gave us a ride and everything was fine, right? But he got my number, right? But I just, I didn't think that he was gonna call me a million times, right? But he started calling and calling and calling and calling. And anyway, so I didn't like him like that, you know, and I kind of just gave him my number because I kind of felt bad, you know, and I was thinking, okay, he shouldn't be calling so many times, right? I kind of tried to let him know that, but he kept on calling, and he called probably 20 times, so I had to block him. Anyway, so the same guy just right now, just he just ends up being everywhere that me and my son are at, right? And he follows us around, and we try to kind of go left, he goes left. Anyways, a couple of times I had to run away with my son in hand, basically, right? So now, like, I see him everywhere, right? And it's kind of unpleasant. And so the last time that I saw him, he tried to give us a ride again, right? And I was like, no, 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 you know. So I just basically, I ended up, eventually I ended up telling him, listen, stop bothering us, okay, you know. And so we had to go when we got out of a hospital, right? After we checked my son's eyes, right? We went a completely different way that we weren't supposed to go, right? And we had to like climb the fence basically, so we could avoid that guy, you know, because he keeps on following us around basically, right? And so that was kind of, the situation was stressing me out, right? And yeah, we ended up like taking the bus, right? And it was a very hot day there too, especially there, right, in that town. So I ended up being like very, I felt very drained basically, right? And then I realized, then suddenly one guy, right, he saw my son and I, and he just like screamed something, and it was like implying that my son was like a girl or something like that, right? And basically, I think he said like, don't cry, you know, that's what girls do, or something like that, right? Anyway, so that situation ended up pissing me more off even more, right? And I was gonna like go and punch the guy. I swear. So anyways, instead of kind of like controlling myself, I almost like ended up, you know, like getting into kind of like a, giving this guy a lesson basically, right? Talking about how, wait a minute, guys, men have emotions too, right? Anyway, so I shouldn't have done this, you know, or maybe I should have, I don't know, right? But I was kind of calm about it, right? But at the same time, I wanted to punch that guy, I swear to God. My emotions were high, I was extremely drained already, right? And then he like provoked me, right? Basically. So once again, of course, it's like they feel this, right? So in the past, right? I've had two of my worst relationships, right? 2 out of 3. The narcs, right? they came into my life when I was at my lowest, right? And I tried getting away from them, but they always came back, right? Like 2 or 3 weeks later, right? And that was usually when I was at my lowest. I remember one time I was feeling really, really depressed, right? That's how we've met. We've met when I was in that state, right? And we started our relationship, right? And then he came back, right? I kind of told him that I didn't want to see him after some time, but then he just came back, and I took him, right? Took him back. Anyways, and another time was also when you know, I didn't really want to date him too much. I tried anyways. I gave it a chance, right? My intuition was against it, and I kind of ended up breaking it off. After about 2 weeks or so, I was feeling really lonely, right? And he texted me right then and there, you know? So it's funny how they kind of like, they can sense these things, right? Like energy vampires, like emotional vampires, right? Demons, that's how they operate, basically, okay? They pick up on this energy, they know, you know? So they go after you when you're at your lowest, when you're lonely, when you're depressed, when you're fearful, right? So you have to be really aware of that, basically, right? So let's get back to the situation, right? I shouldn't have reacted the way that I reacted. You know, I didn't like curse this guy out, thank goodness, right? I kind of kept my composure, but still, I wasn't too happy about getting into this discussion with him anyways, like, because it seemed like I was trying to prove myself or something, right? Instead, I should have just walked away, you know, and let him be, because so with certain people, right, and in certain situations, you know that they're too far gone, basically, right? And you can't really, even if you say something, it's probably not going to, it's not going to help, you know? So this was one of the guys, and that's what I feel like, at least, right? And so I should have just walked away, right? But because I was already exhausted and just kind of like very emotional and just already, you know, like at my lowest, basically, or almost at my lowest, I was squeezed dry, basically. I had no energy, right? And so the situation itself kind of presented itself, right? And it was very hard for me to control myself, you know, and it was very hard for me to just walk away. And I should have just walked away, right? And so, yeah. So be careful, right? In situations like this, when you're at your lowest, once again, right? Just try to walk away. Try to not be around too many people if you can, right? Or try to not say anything, you know, just do the gray rock, right? And then get back to people when you're well rested, right? When you're at your best, basically, okay? So try to start doing things when your spirits are high, basically, right? When you have the energy, when you are feeling good, so try to operate from that state, okay? And once again, you will attract better situations, better circumstances into your life, better people, right? And so yeah, this is just my advice to you guys, okay? I hope you really enjoyed this video. Much love to you, okay? Bye.